All right. I think this is 53 of the Ghouls. With the great and powerful Dan Callahan. He's a South Jersey bad boy.
South Jersey bad boy.
South
Jersey bad boy.
And I'll tell you what, usually I'm not one to let people with traditional genders come into my home.
Yeah.
But he's a bad boy, and, at least he admits it.
Somebody's got to do it. Yeah. So you recently had, John Keller on here?
John Keller.
Somebody's got to straighten the pod out.
Yeah, he was...
Was he the last guest we had on?
No, we had Tommy after him.
That's
Tom
what
Connors.
I thought, yeah.
We've had some exciting whites, just like the Eagles, okay?
The exciting whites, that's right.
The Ku Klux clamps, folks.
I could but we balance it out by having color on the show every week.
Yeah.
Sick Ghouls will never exist without color.
I was going to say, did we ever have a black guest on?
We've had several, yeah. Lakshmi,
Steve Kane, Holly
Combs.
Tay Combs, yeah.
Steve Kane is black as fuck.
Oh, my God.
He doesn't get the respect he deserves.
No, not at all.
No, I think he gets too much, actually, quite frankly.
Yeah.
He's a great man. He and I, we could just we shit on all the same people together. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what makes a good friendship, is shitting on the same people.
Oh yeah, I love like Dunbar's a fucking hack. No, one of our favorite running jokes of this show is calling Dunbar a hack. He is, but
I haven't seen him in a hot minute. What the hell's he been up to?
Yeah,
nothing. He's nothing.
He comes out when things are going well at work. You'll see him at 4 comedy things a week, and then when things are going poorly, he has one bad week. Well, I'm taking it off, dude. He's one, like, if he were the Eagles, the first drive, a 3 and out, game's over. He's throwing in the towel.
Yeah, throwing in the towel.
We just give him shit.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's a good one. We
all met at the Soul Joel's Sand Dome mic.
Yeah, that's right. Right
throwback.
In the heat of it back in 2020.
We were disobeying government ordinances by going to do stand-up comedy.
Dude, there was a lot
still attached to us because I remember the health. At the time, that was what the health secretary really cared about. Removing your. Right.
There was a lot of disobeying of health ordinances around that.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great time.
I would drive home drunk every time.
I don't think anybody left there sober anytime.
No.
I was under 21 at the time, so I left there sober.
Oh, you're a bad boy.
I'm a
You're an honorary
black boy.
Southeastern PA bad boy. Also known as a black man in Southeastern PA.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's what's known as the accused. That's what they call Luke typically. But yeah, we met a lot of. I'm trying to think who we specifically met there. We met Kowalski,
Gillespie, Prophet, Desmond, Sherman.
Christ, I wish I never went.
It was a real who's who of who needs lobotomies.
Yeah.
Brandon Neely was there. He doesn't do comedy anymore.
Holy shit. Well, I mean, there's so many people there that either I continue to see here and here, or not at all anymore. There's no in between.
I love Kowalski. I was talking to Kowalski earlier today. I was just bullshitting with him.
Is he still yelling about the Jews?
No. Well, yeah, I am.
Well, do you ever stop yelling about the Jews?
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot. Yeah, you upset that woman, that old woman.
Dude, there was a lot of very a lot of top moments for me that happened at that mic. That will crack the top 5 for sure. Where he was yelling about the Jews, and the one Jewish woman was like, "You can't be doing that. I'm going to go do open mics in Boston." And I was like, "Well, guess what, lady? There's not going to be any lack of that there. I can guarantee you."
They know what's what.
What did they say?
The woman came up to me a few months after I saw her again.
Yeah,
She came up. What was her name? Well, we don't have to say, but
Beth
we remember who the person is.
Yes, yeah.
She came up to me and she goes, because and she knew it wasn't me, but she knew I was friends with him. She's like, "And what, your friend?" Like, she just expected me to know what she meant. Like 7-8 months. Luckily, we mocked them over it, or we never would have. But it's like, with your friend.
That happens so many times, though, where she wanted to dabble in stand-up, and that's why she started coming out.
Yep.
I don't think she's doing it anymore. But there's a lot of people like that, and they're like, "Oh, I'll go to an open microphone. Let's see what happens there." And then they show up, and they're like, "Holy fuck, is this what this is?"
They can't take provocative art. That's
no, true.
No.
She said to me, "Why do they have to be dirty? I understand the Jews, but why do they have to be dirty?" It's like, wow.
There was a guy that came up to me after a police fundraiser, older guy, and he's like, all the classic stuff. "Oh, my friends around the office say I'm hilarious. I should really do stand-up."
Is that the one we were on with Lakshmi? Is that the
No. This was one in South Jersey. So he was like, like, he emailed me because I gave him one of my cards, and he's like, I'll reach out to you. I was like, no one ever does. But I was like, here you go. And then he emails me from his work email, and he's like, where's a good open mic to go to? And I was like, one that, like, what are you looking for? He's like, I'm a rather clean kind of guy, like an older kind of crowd. I was like, check out Bar 13 down in Delaware. I was like, Wednesday nights, ask for Otis, and you'll be all set. So if he showed up there, he probably would have.
Maybe that's Retro.
Maybe, yeah.
There's an old guy there named Retro who he'll do 8 minutes if you don't stop.
He's like Delaware Roger Snare. That's pretty much what he is.
I was just gonna say, rest in peace to
the
the greatest.
Memorialize those
How
guys.
many times do you think he fucked her corpse after she died? before?
That was already made on the spot. That joke was already made by me. Yeah.
They slept in a car. He must have just kept that body in there. I hope. I pray.
Where'd you get that body from? Huh?
Man, that's a real throwback right there.
Yeah,
but
that was a.
Now orgasm like a duck. Yeah.
God, Roger and Linda. I always think, like, what if Roger was like a big athlete, and they pulled him to go to Vietnam, and he took shrapnel, and that was it.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. He's taking
Linda was a cheerleader. He was star of the track team. They said, "Well, you're going to Nam." And that's it.
There's a video of him I found online, and he's talking about like zoning restrictions and laws and stuff. And it was
it at the DNC?
Yes.
Yes,
it was
I
that
saw the
video.
same one.
Yeah, and I was like, I gotta really reconsider my life because he's making really good sense. Like because he was actually very articulate and smart.
Right,
And
but the thing is, he was talking to the cash register at the snack bar.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure he had a degree from like American University, didn't he?
Oh, really?
He was really smart.
Yeah, American's a pretty good school.
So I think
it is.
I think the searches for Roger Snare on Google and YouTube went through the roof when he died. Because I was looking for clips of him somewhere. I knew I had one from the Dome mic, and I can't find it, but I had a video of him doing his rap, and it was.
I interviewed him at the Dome mic because I was doing a project for my news broadcasting class.
Yeah.
And I said, Roger, whatever you do, just don't bring up politics about it. Just talk about the comedy club. And he goes, all right. I go, you ready? All right, go. He goes, these Democrats are ruining comedy. It's like, all right, well, I can't use this, but it's on my iCloud forever.
Yeah, that's great. We got to watch that one day, Roger. I remember a lot of his rap. I don't get no respect, but maybe if I use better grammar, I would. A lot of people collect things. Some people collect stamps, which stamp collecting is like love and sex. Leaves you feeling sticky and gooey.
Yeah, remember that.
I collect celebrity stool samples. I pose everything from a plumber to a proctologist to get them. I have a thing of Donald Rump's poop. Now that shit's orange.
Yeah. I liked he would do his rap, and it would be like a couple like phrases, and I can imagine somebody like walking through the bar and just hearing some guy talking, not paying attention, and then you hear Roger go, "Jail, jail, the gang's all here. What the fuck do we?" It was just insane.
It was always a masterpiece when somebody never saw him before.
Oh, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah,
oh, right.
It really was. I remember I brought up my bitch wife to a mic one time, and she was like, "Holy shit, what the fuck is that?" She heard Hubsher as well go up there, and it's my Uber. I'll finger who I want.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that joke. I think I've seen that joke more than I've worked at 3 jobs. I've heard that material.
God, Hubsher's still active in the comments section to the Facebook from what I've seen.
He
Really?
thinks he's amazing.
He was telling Dennis B, I could read the dictionary and I'd be funnier than anything you'd ever put out.
Oh my
And it's
god!
like, Dennis B, my God, Luke's a believer. He's a Dennis believer. You followed that sheet and Dennis B in the chat in the Facebook things. They hate each other. Dear God.
I'll just see the Dennis B fan club come out on, what is it, Instagram, Facebook, wherever.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Dennis believers out there, I think, and they and I'll tell you what I just hope is whoever's behind it. I hope they're not just exploiting two retards fighting with each other for the sake of joy.
The thing with Dennis is when you get kicked out of 109 Facebook comic sections, is it really like that many? Like
yeah.
Holy shit, that's pretty wild. I don't know the full lore. I just have
that was a
followed
joke
along.
because he's Jewish, and that's how many times Jewish people get kicked out of countries. I was trying
I
to.
didn't notice that.
That's a deep cut there.
Anti-Semitic
Wait, is
joke.
that an actual statistical fact?
I think it is.
109 countries.
That's only the meme pages I follow on Instagram. I don't know how correct
Well,
that.
Yeah. Well, if it's at 109, let's make it 110.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost 300,000 people. That's almost, It's almost 100 9/11s died in the Holocaust.
Yeah.
It's-
But 300,000, I mean, it's a
Right.
much more reasonable number than some of the other figures thrown around.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can't believe that. Come on now.
Yeah.
You know, 80 million people voted for Joe Biden. Sure. 6 million people. Come at the hell
I
out
went.
of
To my buddy used to run for state rep of PA, and it was all these. You think comedy's fucking complete schmusic. It's these
Oh,
political
God.
events like that times 10. But it makes more sense to network on politics because that
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah.
Comedy doesn't mean anything. So we're going to like this is called the Young Republicans of PA, and we're all in like
Luke's there, front row.
He's in a suit. Me and my buddies are in a polo, and we're just bored. And like we would go up to people. I went to people and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" He goes, "Oh, what do you do, Luke?" And I go, "I'm just around." You going to school? I'm like, "Yeah." They go, "What are you studying?" I go, eugenics. I'm studying eugenics.
You said that?
Yeah. And they're like, "What?" I'm like, I forget, and I would just walk away because I hated being there. Eugenics.
That's funny. When I was in a class once. Some guy in college, like the teacher asked or the professor asked, "What are you doing?" And he goes, Hitler should have won the war. I said that to him. He got thrown out.
Thrown out?
Yeah, just for that.
Holy just for that.
I know.
Just-
I thought it was going to be 1,000-year Reich.
We were doing living stations in my 8th grade thing, and they said they want you to raise your hand and pray for Jesus. And my friend was next to the teacher. He did this. And the teacher grabbed him by the fucking shirt and drug him out of the church and wanted him expelled.
That's awesome. Did he get expelled?
That teacher also said he said the N word in class.
Oh, good.
He was like, they had signs that said, no Irish, no Jews, no niggers. And that's okay for him to say.
Yeah,
but to go like this, you're gonna get expelled.
Yeah, Hitler would have probably agreed with him. They probably had a lot in common.
Yeah.
I
I had a professor in college. It was a English lit class, and she was exactly the type of professor you would think at a liberal arts college, talking about English literature. English literature. I think I'm dyslexic, but but she took a real stretch at some of the Sylvia Plath and a lot of those depressing broads poetry, and she came to the conclusion and was teaching in this class that the women's suffrage movement was worse than the Holocaust. So I wanted to get your guys' take.
I think it was much worse. I actually like the Holocaust. I hate women's suffrage.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the state of the world. You look at nobody has any respect, and it's like you look at what they've done to themselves. We've gotten to ourselves since women started voting. Now they have to work, and nobody's any better off for it. Now you need 2 incomes in a home, right? Because you could have just gotten out of high school and taken care of kids with a factory job. You wouldn't have been rich, but you could have lived. Now you need 2 incomes, no kids, and you're lucky if you could take care of a fucking cat. I don't know how the fuck you do it.
I don't know. I think if you guys combine your incomes together and you guys go in on a house, where in Norristown are you guys going to be buying crack houses at? Where are you guys
There's a lot of places.
Probably here. Probably here.
There's a Hispanic neighborhood up the road that I think I'd fit in pretty well with.
Yeah.
There's a Hispanic neighbor up the road, down the road, west, east. They're all Hispanic here. If you drive on the bridge down there, you can see your homeless encampment. There's
Really?
a bunch of homeless, yeah, because they closed down a homeless shelter. Now they all live on the streets.
Let's go fuck with them. Let's go throw milk over.
That'd be
them.
funny.
I've always wondered why, if you could choose to be homeless, maybe it's not some people's choices, I don't know, but why would you choose to be homeless in Norristown,
It's just
Pennsylvania?
drugs.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, you got easy access.
That's exactly
right?
what it is. Because obviously, if you're homeless, you only need is like what, $20 to take a train to Florida or something like that.
Yeah.
So why not just do that? But they just addicted to drugs.
They got
no.
They got to stay close to it. Shipping charges are out of control these days. You know how much it costs to get a 43-year-old woman named Consuela to shove heroin up her ass and come all the way up here?
Yeah, seriously. And if you went up to some of these people and just said to them, "Listen, I'll let you stay on my couch for a week," or you could say, "Here's a dime bag." Well, a dime bag's nothing anymore. Here's $50 worth of crack. They'd take the $50 and in an hour they'd be bored again, but they'd at least have their crack.
I'm in such a phase right now of watching like police body cam footage of like random traffic stops. The guys in Arizona that pull people over and they know that they're trafficking something. They pull them over for following too closely to a car in front of them. They get this woman out of the car. They're like, "Where are you coming from?" She's like, "I drove from 2,000 miles away to come visit my cousin, whatever." Then they just start tearing apart her car and they find like 9 bricks of fentanyl. And she's like, "I didn't know that was there." It's like, "Lady, we cut the tires open. It was stashed in there."
Me no sé, no.
We should distribute some of that crack into the Philly or the fent into the Philly comedy scene and hopefully kill off some of these junkies that walk around at these fucking mics that I have to look at and act their ego.
Honestly, it would make open mics a little bit more bearable. I think.
Oh,
I think
dude.
there's some positives
No,
we can
because
take.
as soon as you kill some people with fentanyl, there'll be worse. There'll be the same amount as horrible people coming in.
Yeah,
Just
you're
get
right.
more. The amount of dude bros and fucking assholes and guys that are just guys that come in just covered in dirt, like tattered. I don't want to name names, but like just completely. There are groups of people that show up to every mic 2 hours after it starts and want to bump everybody. And it's like, if you're gonna do that, don't come in here covered in dirt, smelling like body odor. You fucks.
Dave Primiano, get it together. Davey Prims, where's he been at? I haven't seen him in a hot minute.
He goes to High Note.
He goes to High Note. I saw him at 13 recently. He came for when we did the Jesus thing. He's good. I mean, he's still as good as they. You look at that. Some of these places, like you have Dave Primiano, and it's going to be like we're going to put on. It has to just be because he's surly, you know.
Yeah.
Like I how could a place like you look at Helium? It's like you know who this guy is. Just put him on every night. You don't need to be putting up, but they have to put on like the lame
It's
the
networking.
Philly guys.
Dave Primiano's not selling, he's selling tickets with his comedy, but you need a face for posters, and that beak can't fill in a poster.
Yeah, he is a hideous Jew. I will give him that. He's bald. He's a bald Jew.
He kind of looks like that Jewish
boy.
guy meme. The dude that
Yeah.
I actually have the most Jewish Dave Primiano story I think of all time. His dad was my uncle's funny money lawyer, or not a lawyer, accountant. He used to cook books for my uncle in college. So I shared a flyer of a show that Dave and I were both on, and my aunt messaged me, and she's like, "Is his dad rich?" I was like, "Rich? Like he's Jewish? Like what do you mean?" And she's like, no, his name was Rich. And she's like, we go to his Halloween parties all the time. I'm like, what? So I asked Dave, I was like, is your dad's name Rich? And he's like, yeah, it was, but he's dead. Yeah. I was like, so I asked my aunt, and then I called my uncle. I was like, how do you know? He was like, oh, in our fraternity, Rich Primiano was our funny money guy. He used to cook books for all these side things that we were doing.
Oh my God.
I was like, holy shit, that's the most Jewish accountant story I've ever.
He came in to do the pod. He goes, as soon as he comes in, he goes, all right, so I just need a bottle of water and a seed.
Did he really?
Yeah, he really did that. And I was like, I'll just give you a Brent filter water.
You didn't want to drink a Bud Light and turn it into another Shane Gillis Philly?
I guess not.
Fuck.
Dude, like it's crazy, like I get pussy, dude. Fucking yeah.
shit on my goddamn ass, man, bro. Fuck.
I thought I was the only one internally in my head seeing like there's way too many people that are just. And it happens all the time. Like there was a lot of people like at the Dome mic that were like trying to be like a Bill Burr, Louis C.K., but now it's just everybody is a caricature of Shane or trying to be a Shane Gillis type.
A few years ago, and we still got some of this at the mic. We were still in the era of women all trying to be Schumer.
Oh shit!
Because she was still popular then.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And she just, God, it seemed like she would have a new special every year on Netflix that was just awful. That leather one was bad.
I was gonna say the leather one. I'm still hard from that. You guys like that one?
God,
Yeah.
I don't find her fuckable. I
the
think,
one where she showed her C-section scar. Is that
oh
the one?
my God,
Is it? I don't know.
Women always talk about their periods, ovulating. It's not my fault that nature fucking made you guys inadequate. I don't want to fucking hear about your bleeding gash. It's disgusting to fucking listen to this. You go to these mics and all they do is
Womanhood's
fucking
beautiful, man. I don't know what you're saying
they
for.
talk about
This
fluid
is
falling
rude.
out of their holes and act like they're
Well, that's their
special
lived
for it.
experiences. They can talk about that if they
Put
want
some
to.
cement in the goddamn thing.
That's nature. Can somebody pass me another beer, please?
Yeah. Women, listen. Look, women. I like them.
Oh, I didn't see it was right there. I apologize.
good.
I'm sorry.
You know my joke, my impression, and I hate to give material away on the pod. I do, but Dan, this is a joke I've been telling and I'm really proud of it. It's my impression of an empowered female comic. Man, Lucas heard this. Folks, I was raped.
There we go. It's still going? Oh,
I
fuck.
stretched these 3 lines out into over 2 minutes at Mike's.
Well, right here, after you say that, you got a lot of claps. You got to pause for a clap. Yeah.
Well, hold on, wait. And it was one of the bad rapes. And if you don't laugh at my jokes, Well, gosh darn it, it's like he's raping me again.
I like the gosh darn it. That's you added that one.
See, when women are bombing, they go to their trauma story so that if you don't like it, it's you. It's
dang
not them.
nabbit, dang flabbit.
And men can't really do
Dude,
that.
I've heard that joke probably 15 million times in this apartment.
What, folks?
Folks.
Well, you got to understand it was a collaborative process. I didn't come up with that on my own. It took 3 people to come up with the joke that
That's
good.
a good point.
I like to think there's somebody right above you that's just like, I hear that guy saying the same thing every Wednesday or every Monday night.
There
or
must
Tuesday.
be a lot of rape going on down here.
I thought it was a progressive podcast being done, but
We are.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our live pod at the Naked Show. We're gonna be naked.
We're going to be
doing
there.
our
That's the other
podcast.
thing we roast. You know about the Naked Show?
I've heard of it. Is that
They
at
do
Bar
it in New
13?
York. Now they're doing it here. We love Beavers, Mike Beavers. We like the guy, but this man
Never had
comes
him on
up to
pod.
me. This man comes up to me and says, "I just thought it was called Naked Comedy. I didn't know it was a naked show." And it's like I didn't grill him over it.
He did a
came
bit
up
about that at High Note.
Did he?
Yeah. He talked about that at High
Then
Note.
it probably came from this conversation.
Yeah,
that
it had to
motherfucker.
have. Yeah.
But he, it's like, just say you wanted to go up there and get naked.
Oh my God.
This guy said, I didn't know it was naked. It's like, all right, Mike, you're my friend, but I'm like, because I like you, I can't, like, I'm not letting you get away with that. If Donegan came up to you and fucking said, I didn't know it was naked, what would you fucking say to him?
I'd be like, get fucking naked right now.
Show me it. Show me it. You want to see it.
Let's break down that wall right now.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
I think if somebody sent me a thing, hey, I'm doing a show, and it's like the Instagram is Naked Comedy.
Yeah.
I would be like, why is your show called Naked Comedy?
Yeah.
And they go, well, we get naked. I go, well,
That if you guys are booking that show, or whoever, if it's you guys or whoever, that you don't say anything about it being naked. You're just hoping they pick up on it.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty good way.
You should have seen the audience when I pulled out my wang. I was doing crowd work on this woman and her boyfriend. She wasn't having it, so I said, "Oh, it's naked comedy."
I got booked for the Philly Tomato Show.
Where they throw tomatoes at you in Manayunk or something?
Yeah,
right?
they said, hey, you want to do the tomato show? And I said no. And they were like, why? I go, I don't want tomatoes thrown at me. And they're like, why? I go, because I just don't want fucking tomatoes thrown at me. I'm not, what the fuck is this? Like, this is insane.
Yeah, your people have been through enough. You
Exactly.
Can't
I'm like,
have a tomato with a brick inside of it thrown at you. Yeah.
People love the degradation ritual of it. There's like a hazing element to the Philly scene. I'm sure it's like that in every scene, but it's maximized in the Philly scene because like nobody's making livings off of this. Even the people that are at Helium all the time have jobs.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the point of doing this if you know what I mean? It's like you're gonna have to leave here if you really want to do this. See, I have the benefit, okay, of being confident enough in myself that I like to go to these things to get drunk during the week without stigma, not for any stupid artistic, pursuit. I
Sean
mainly
Taft
do.
got fucking pegged right in the face.
Oh,
and
shit.
It blew up. Like it got like a billion views.
Dude.
It's not worth it though to get hit in the face with a fucking tomato. That's
Well, I mean, look at all it's done for his comedy career. Look where he's doing now.
Yeah.
Big venues, everything.
speakeasy.
You're gonna end up going there, degrade. Like they want you to go degrade yourself with no reward. And like even the reward, even if you're like whoever considers themselves to be at the top of the scene, they don't make livings. They all have jobs or they live off their families.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So-
I mean, you could host a whole weekend of Helium and get paid $100. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like fucking. I don't know, because a lot of the times trying to get into Helium, do all that stuff, you got to do a lot of schmoozing. You got to do a lot of network. I fucking hate that. I'll do whatever shows, whatever other things.
We
come up.
always tend to gravitate to people that hate the networking. Which
Yeah. Well, usually it's the funny. Like, I feel like people who are really, really funny when it comes to the networking stuff, a lot of the time they're so put off by it that they just don't do it. Or that they're like, you know what I mean? Like there's like Premiano doesn't do it, but he's hilarious. Premiano has well thought out bits that kill in front of anyone.
Yeah.
But it's
But he does it where he shows up, he does material, he does well, and then I could have him on a show or something, or ask him to do it. We've been on shows together, his shows I've been like whatever, it just naturally comes up, and that's all well and good. I know there's a lot of people you got to play the game a little bit. If they want to do that, I get it, but a lot of people just get into it like, okay, now I just got to start networking. Now I got to just start talking up people and taking their picture on Instagram and tagging them in it, and then hopefully I'll get booked after that. Now
I get like bouts of that where I get motivated to do that stuff. And then like that's like it happened I'll do it for 1 week and then 7 months will pass. I won't do it again.
Oh yeah.
I put people on my story that I know will get me no clout. That's what I try to go.
That's
for.
what I started doing now.
Yeah.
I put up. We're all tagged the wrong person. I've tagged like 8 people as Anna Gallagher, usually black guys. I'll say Anna Gallagher killing, and it'll be like fucking. It won't be Blackie White Man, but it'll be a Blackie White Man. There's a black comic named Blackie White Man.
Really?
In Delaware, yeah.
Holy, does he do that to get booked? It's just
There's
Blackie
also-
White Man.
we-
It
the,
doesn't work for me, so I'm not sure.
Blackie White Man, the comedian.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we were with Mike Mack. Have you met him at Hino?
No.
Bald guy.
I probably have. I just
You'd
don't know
like.
the
He's
name.
like Dunbar's father. He could be Dunbar's father. But the one day he was on a gig and we were going to see him, and Blackie White Man was on it, and that's who booked him. And we saw him outside the venue, and Max starts yelling in Chester out on the street 9 at night on a Friday because the show didn't start punctually. Hey, Blackie! Blackie! He's screaming, and we're laughing and laughing.
How many blacks turned around?
The paddy wagon pulled over. They all came out. They were like, "Oh, me? No, me."
You said that was in Chester?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Chester.
yeah.
That was a good show, I thought.
Yeah, Chester's if Lincoln
I lived
Park
there
went
for
there,
40
they all would have killed themselves.
There's a lot of. I did a show in the Days Inn in Chester. It was a Aunt Mary Pat show. Oh my God,
Oh,
those
yeah.
shows. Some of the Aunt Mary Pat shows I got to
Is
do.
that like
were-
right next to Wider University?
I have no.
I think
This
I've
was
seen it
like.
before.
This was like she was supposed to do a show inside of Harris Casino, and then something happened, or they were screwing somebody over. So they're like, you know what? It was a Joel move, 100%. It was like, hey, I got us a room, and he's like, this is great. It's going to be in a hotel. Show up there. It was like open air drug deals going on in the middle of it. It's like I was like, I thought you said you got a not the like conference room at the Days Inn. Who the fuck goes to a conference at the Days Inn that's not an AA meeting? Like, Jesus Christ.
My friend's mom went to go see Aunt Mary Pat, and she comes up and she goes, "Yeah, I went to go see Aunt Mary Pat," and she goes, "Once you heard one joke, you've heard them all."
Oh yeah.
I've never met Aunt Mary Pat. How is he?
He
lives as a dude, right? This
yeah,
isn't a trans person.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
right, all right.
yeah. I was gonna say I'll let you guys in on some inside knowledge with Aunt Mary Pat. Aunt Mary Pat has a dick. So, I think I said that at that show we did at the what was it, the American
you did say,
Legion.
You did, yeah,
Yeah.
that was great.
Yeah.
Aunt Mary Pat has a dick. Open
I
your mouth. I'll give you some residue.
no, he's cool. He does. His partner now, I think they got married. It was Danny. He had 2 kids from a
Wait,
previous
Aunt Mary
marriage.
Pat is gay?
We're getting inside baseball.
I
You're
told
like,
you
no
this is
other.
real inside knowledge here.
Oh my God.
I think he started doing shows again, like here and there, but he kind of got worn down doing a lot. Like some days we would have 3 shows in one day, and then he had 2 the next day. Like they went out of control. You know how the gays get. He
She's
spent
like
that money.
fucking gay Yoder. My
Yeah,
God, yeah.
gay odor. Yeah.
That's what we call the bartender at Fergie's.
Oh,
Gay
yeah.
Yoder. the
Yeah.
body slammer.
Yeah. Gay Yoder wasn't a very big fan of. I think Brendan and I like trialed run some show there where Premiano was on it. Romy,
Ferg's?
yeah, Romy, Rob Stant, Premiano, me and Brendan. It was like kind of like it was supposed to be like a topical based show, and we like trial ran it there, and it went well. They had like a good amount of people, but the bartender was not a fan.
Oh, believe it or not, she and I get along very well.
Really?
She thinks I'm satire.
Oh my God. Really? No, this is just who I am.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, she went up to somebody who said no Diddy on stage recently and goes, "We don't do that no Diddy shit here." And I'm like, "Oh my Lord, we can't say no Diddy."
No, who's all about no Diddy? I want more Diddy.
Yeah.
I actually want to put on oil and fuck my friends in the ass and their kids. Hey, Aunt Mary Pat, come on in. You're coming out.
You guys, I'll hook you up if you guys want Aunt Mary Pat on the program. That would really get you guys get the.
I would have Aunt Mary Pat.
That'd
on
be
the
pretty
show.
shocking to see that. That'd be nuts. I mean,
Would he come in the outfit?
Yeah, probably, or actually just without the outfit.
It'd probably
yeah.
be even funnier without.
Yeah.
I would have Aunt Mary Pat on in a second. I just think it'd be fun. I'm all for doing things people won't expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know-
That is something I would not have on my Philly
No.
comedy scene bingo card.
She's
No.
right behind Betty Smithsonian, I think, for the.
I'd have Betty on too.
Yeah.
I'd ask her why she asked you about picking your ass with chicken bones when you were the only black guy in the room.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't have her on. 'Cause I'd be so.
the friendly lounge, right?
Yeah.
We go this. I've told this story before, but it's hysterical. You've been there.
Yeah.
And they let you smoke in there. That's the whole that and the piano or the whole draw. And
Yeah.
we were smoking the one day, first time. Luke never been there. I said, let's smoke cigars there. They won't get mad at us. And he's like, I don't fit in. And I'm like, what do you think they're gonna do? Just like single you out and make fun of you? So Lipinski's hosting, and halfway through he goes, look at these two assholes smoking cigars. I said to Luke, they're not going to single you out and make fun of you halfway through the host set. Look at these two assholes, right? So then everybody who bombed was giving a shit about it.
Oh, my God.
Then fucking Betty Smithsonian was up there, and she's asking, she's like, does anyone like chicken? And I said, Luke does. And she goes, oh, do you ever like pick your ears or your ass with them?
With the chicken bones.
I said,
with the bones. Yeah, she's
I
like,
said,
you ever take the bones and pick your ears or your ass?
I haven't, Betty.
How hard was I laughing?
Dying.
incredible.
I couldn't believe she even said that.
Who else was laughing in the place but me?
Just me and you.
Yeah,
It was just
yeah,
me
that's
and
what I
you.
mean, yeah, yes.
Incredible.
And Sarah Niddle was on stage. She's literally the worst female comic I ever seen. That's saying a lot.
Sarah Niddle?
Sarah Niddle.
Oh, she's that blonde whore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was making fun of me and like telling
Not
me an
hot either.
asshole. And she was like, she wanted to make fun of me because I was smoking cigars. She put like 8 cigarettes in her hand. And I was like, I'll light them for you. I lit them for her. But she goes, oh, you almost set my hair on fire, you fucking asshole. I go, I kind of should have just set her hair on fire.
Yeah, that
How
would've been-
funny would that have been?
Does she still do comedy?
No, I think she moved to Colorado.
No.
What is with that? I remember going into Brownies before they had the open mic there. That upstairs little space.
Yeah.
There used to be a pool table. This was like a long time ago.
There is. It's behind the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been to the mic.
Yeah. So up there you can smoke in there. You used to be able to smoke upstairs, and we went in there one night, and I was like, "Oh, you can smoke up there. You can have cigars." And then they were all like, "No, no, no." Like we meant like I was like, "You said you could smoke. I'm pulling out something you can smoke."
Yeah, nobody like
They don't
cigars
even let you
is pure
smoke there
tobacco.
now.
It
Yeah.
smells
That's
way better,
than
than cigarettes. to me.
Cigarettes
Yeah.
are fucking gross.
Yeah. Yeah, so they always got. Did you know there was a beach in Atlantic City called Chicken Bone Beach?
Yep.
I've heard of that. I heard about that
Yeah.
recently.
You know who was
actually.
allowed
Yeah.
to go? The only black. It was the segregated beach.
Oh,
It
you
was
did
a
use that. I heard
segregated
from you
beach.
then. Yeah. Can you smoke cigars there?
Yeah.
Chicken bone.
And I think it
beach.
still shows up on Apple Maps, or there's a Wikipedia page for it. I know that much.
I'd love. We should do a live episode from Chicken Bone Beach.
Just go out there, get some beach chairs, and just sit down. Bring on random people, the characters from Atlantic City you could have on the program.
dude.
We
We
could have
should do
Blackie
some
White Man on.
We
the
should have
program.
some kind of comedy event on Chicken Bone
Chicken
Beach.
Bone Beach.
Chicken Bone Beach.
Yeah,
Maybe
put
you
that
guys-
in the notes. Put that in the show notes.
I'll
You
put
could
that.
run into my buddy Kevin the Bum down there when I
Kevin
was
the Bum.
when I was 19, and before we could drink at any of the casinos, me and my buddy would get drunk on the boardwalk, and there was this guy doing like some type of, I don't know what his shtick or act was, but he was mainly just a crazy homeless guy talking to people on the boardwalk, and they would throw in money to him. We hung out with him after his set was done, and we just started hanging around Atlantic City with this guy. We bought him some Lucy's and some like $4 bottle of brandy in the middle of Atlantic City, like off the boardwalk.
You owned him then.
Yeah, yeah. We're like, you're coming with us, buddy.
Get moving.
And then he's like, "Hey, any of you guys got $50?" We're like, "We're not giving you $50." He's like, "I don't want $50." He's like, "I know a prostitute that'll go 3 ways for $50." We're like, "Oh, now this is a deal." So, and we're like, "All right, we got to get out of here at this point." And then he got into a fight with a bouncer outside of a cabaret, and we never saw him again. And I think Hurricane Sandy killed him. So,
Oh, wow.
rest in
Wow.
peace, Kevin
Rest
the
in
Bum.
And you never got to give the $50 to Romy for the 3-way.
No, unfortunately not.
She's
I
our
still,
friend. We can say that.
I
She's
still
our
owe her
friend.
$50.
She's one of the few female comics I like.
yeah, yeah.
Or
Not
Tol-
just
tolerate.
female comic.
Jew.
Yeah. Yeah.
She checks a few boxes for your progressive
Well,
program.
I'll tell you what it is. It's the two wrongs making a right principle, the woman and Jew.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like some Jewish women you can tolerate because at least they're more. Sometimes the Jew overruns the woman in that they're out front about what their priorities are in life, money.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
no, she's a friend. I have in my right to make fun of Jews. You know, it's my birthright as an Arab.
That's right. That
That's
is right.
true.
That is true.
But no, that's I've been trying to get Luke to go to a prostitute. He's not into it. I've been thinking. You gotta just like we go. Is it the 19th hole? Is that the name of the place? I feel like that's such a name.
That's a stripper joint.
That's
not
what
a
I'm talking about.
prostitute place.
19th hole. That's a great strip club name
And then
and
what is it?
prostitution ring.
Just Enough. Is that the other
Just enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Just one.
one? All of them. You take them in the room. You pay to get in the champagne room. It's like if you said, yeah, I'll give you $250 to fuck you. They wouldn't have you in that car fast enough.
There used to be a place in Bristol called the Eager Beaver where it was like an adult novelty store, but they had a stripper that was in there, the saddest, fattest stripper you could think of, just on a pole in like a adult comic book store with dildos and like, nude magazines and DVDs, whatever you could think of.
That's Tony Porlanti's show.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing ever since the open mic at Cross Keys got
There's
canceled.
a Specs chicken in Collegeville. It's phenomenal. There's a broiled, I think it's broiled chicken, very great. But there's an adult world right next to it. That's what that's known for. There's the adult world.
Man,
Ooh.
you get find a bunch of Playboys with grease stains on it from the browsers. They leave them behind. Oh God, I'm assuming we all had parents that would just leave Playboys around, right?
No.
Oh.
My dad was a straight shooter. Didn't have any of that stuff around.
Jesus, I saw so many goddamn Playboys just laying around. In my PlayStation 2, there'd be like fucking videos.
When
And,
my grandfather went to the hospital for the first time, he just died yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. We went into his attic.
he's all right.
Lockers of Playboys.
Really?
Lockers.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I have 'em?
Yeah.
We're gonna dispose. I don't know what's gonna happen with them.
Put him with his ashes.
Mint condition.
We're gonna
huh?
bury him with them. Actually, we're gonna put
I just saw a video the other day of a Philly funeral where they were carrying the casket over to where they like rested on the thing that lowers it into the ground, and the whole thing collapsed, and all the pallbearers fell into the fucking hole.
Oh fuck! Don't say. I might do that. That might happen to me Monday.
That might actually.
That's worrisome.
You better watch your step going over that thing. Yeah.
I do not want to be a pallbearer. I hope I'm not asked to do it. I probably will be asked to do it. But
Yeah, who else is going to be? I've had to be
I know,
pallbearer
but I don't want to. That's too much shit.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be one of 18 pallbearers, aren't you? on the front wing.
Yeah.
And I'm just going at all the comics
I
tonight.
gotta prepare for that. I gotta really
Take a note on that. Watch step.
You're putting a note for that?
Yeah.
Why? Because he's fat. He is going to die one day.
I won't put.
Put it in. Put it in.
Put it in. Yeah. You gonna put on the white gloves to be a pallbearer too? Break out like those old Michael Jackson gloves. I'm sure you
I
got.
never did it before.
Oh, really?
I have no idea what I'm
It's
gonna
a
do.
real rite of passage when you get asked to be a pallbearer.
It's too much shit. Just be dead and just have it.
Well, that's why it's always great when you get asked to be a pallbearer. It's somebody you're loosely related to, because a lot of the immediate family is the one like they're not doing it. So
Right. That's
like
same spots I've been in.
I've been in that spot before. Now, not for like I didn't have to do any of that for my grandfathers or anything like that. But like if somebody like it's a second cousin, it's like, hey, we need somebody to do it. It's like kind of like a guest spot at a show. Just treat it like that.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that at all.
I had to do it once because a woman's grandson was too upset, so I had to do it.
Okay. That's
You get up there and you're just fucking like, I don't give a fuck about what is going on here. You just keep straight face.
Was it heavy?
Yeah, I was rubbing the coffin and moaning, to be honest with you, but
Was it heavy?
No, she had nothing left.
She was thin as a piece of
Yeah, I was gonna
cardboard.
say, yo, this bitch small as fuck, bro. What the fuck you talking about? No,
Yeah.
not from crack. It wasn't a Norristown funeral. But
It was from heroin. It was a Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
funeral.
I was going to say, it's been a little bit since I've been out this way. You get to see a lot of the good town around here. It's been a while because I just haven't had to buy an 8-ball in a couple of years. But
I know.
It's got the
That's
KLP
one of the worst
mall.
parts of fatherhood. Right?
You got the KLP mall. Not
Oh yeah, we
bad.
didn't even bring up. We have Indian Luke here. Luke's friend painted this. That's Indian Luke Kincaid.
Luke's me not Rayan.
Luke's
Yeah.
Balasu, bro.
you're going to start going on stage doing Lakshmi's bits, like half Lakshmi, half you.
I love Donald Trump. He's very good. Very good.
Instead of owning a liquor store, you're just the head of the Southeastern Pennsylvania Republicans Club.
I have a
make it
higher
work.
purpose. I run a trap house. I'm gonna do that Blackshmi. That's gonna be my
Yes, there we go. We need to have a like a roast of Lakshmi. You can come up as Blackshmi.
Blackshmi Negro Yan. Balasu reparation.
Holy shit! You would
Junior.
sell out Bar 13 in minutes if you did the roast of Lakshmi.
We should do that. We should do a roast.
Take a note on that.
He
Yeah.
fucking-
You can't
Yeah,
roast
that'd be too
Lakshmi.
mean.
It'd be too
He
mean.
came out as Aladdin at one of the Disney burlesque shows they did, and he went out there and he said his opening line was, "Bad news, they've outsourced Aladdin to India." Oh, it killed. I wasn't even there. I just saw the video. It
Oh, that's
killed.
hilarious.
I know.
What the hell's Lakshmi? Is he still in the country? Did he get deported?
he's
What's
back.
He?
He's
Oh,
back.
Yeah, he was in India for a while. I haven't
He
seen him
was,
since he
yeah.
came back. I love that man. He's hilarious.
The last time I saw him was on the show with you at the.
That's the last time I saw him too. Over at the Just Todd American Legion in Delco,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I love Just Todd. I was with him last week. He was
Yeah.
Yeah, do they still run those shows at the? They definitely don't at the
Gatsby's.
Gatsby's. They don't do that.
That
at
was
all.
a sweet room because you
packed out all the time.
and it felt like you were in someone's basement. Like you go
That was
downstairs and it's
the
like,
best set I've ever had in my life. Was at
you
one
in
of
front
those
of the
shows.
American flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great. He's gonna start doing that if he isn't already. I
We'll
mean,
I got to get on Todd again. I don't know why it didn't work because it was always I cracked my neck. It was disgusting. But yeah, I saw him last week. He went up at. He went up at 13 last week. He said something that was pretty funny. Oh, he was talking about how he went to his drug dealer's house once when he was out of town. And he talks about this on stage. I'm not outing him. He's sober. But he went to his drug dealer's house, and he fucking shit himself in the guy's house. He was picking up weed, and he shit himself. So then he went and was going to throw his underpants in the garbage outside, and an old woman went up to him and was like, "Why are you throwing stuff in our garbage? You don't."
He's like, lady, I just shit myself. Just get the fuck out of here.
He swore it was true. Like, you could tell when somebody's on stage when they say it's true 7 times. It's like, you know, fuck, this might be true.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I could totally see just Todd shitting himself.
Yeah. I could see
Todd, no way he shits himself. No way.
I was. That's more of a Katarina story. Okay.
That'll be in the blooper
that's like
reel.
a minute and a half chunk there.
You got to spend a lot of time editing these, huh?
That's the hardest part of the podcast.
There was a few. He left a few N-words in, I think, to try to teach me a lesson. Because I was listening the one day. I never listened back, but one day I was listening. I left a big hard R from me came flying out.
There was a couple in the John Keller one. I listened to that one earlier.
Really?
Yeah, watched that one on the TV. I was like, let me get a. I was like, it's. Let me see what the. Because I'll see the clips. I'll watch a couple
you
eps.
talk about Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
What did I say about
It's
her?
like, her pussy hasn't been sullied by Negro cock not once, and if she did, I have no fucking respect for her. Something like
does
that.
sound like something. Else.
The lack of respect for Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, I mean, listen, maybe that's why God gave her cancer, but she was born into billionaire wealth. I'd be a billionaire. Some people get cancer and they're poor.
Yeah.
If I ever get cancer,
I would take cancer billionaire over regular thousandaire.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
day.
If I'd rather be a billionaire and have my kids die if I had a kid, and I don't have kids, but if I did, I wouldn't care if they died. Make another.
I think if it could be even categorized as such as one of the funniest like cancer announcements / like supportive things out there. Did you guys see when Dave Coulier from Full House got cancer? Like this was months
Didn't know
ago.
he had it.
Oh
no.
yeah, I remember something about that.
So he got cancer, and John Stamos showed up to give his support for him. And you know how a lot of people, when someone has cancer and they got to go bald, people show their support by shaving their head. John Stamos shows up, and he's like, "I'm not shaving my head." He put a bald cap on for the video, and then he just took it off. Like, that's such a fuck. If John Stamos shaved his head, that would be headlines all over the
Yeah,
world.
I know.
A lot
He's
of
like,
milfs would
nah.
be pissed. Is Coulier bald now?
I think he was for a little bit.
Fucking
This was
Joey Gladstone, Ranger Joe.
this was like maybe 6-7 months ago. At this
I do
point,
remember
but-
that. Yeah.
God, I'd fuck the Olsen twins. I'd fuck Elizabeth Olsen. Fuck any of those whores.
Were they twins or was it one it was one kid? I thought it was one kid.
No.
It was twins.
The Olsens? Yeah,
The Olsen
Mary
twins.
Kate and Ashley.
Oh yeah. I got confused. with
Mary
something
Kate
else.
and Ashley.
They were twins. Then they would make those movies when they were teenagers where they would be like spunky. And you know what I mean? They'd still be playing the same character, but it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this isn't your mother's Mary Kate and Ashley, and not just because they're still underage, but
Didn't they do something? Did they have anything with like, about pedophilia or anything?
I'm sure they got hit on by everyone in the industry.
Yeah,
those
yeah.
people, those two probably went through more abuse than fucking anyone.
Yeah. You know Bob Saget fingered one of them.
Oh yeah, I just mean to get the role. I mean,
Yeah.
with their parents. And you look at Elizabeth Olsen, her big break. Their younger sister came in that movie where she fucked Josh Brolin, and it turned out to be her father.
Yeah.
That was the big plot twist in the movie.
That's what,
You ever see that, Old
No,
Boy?
no.
Old boy indeed.
when Bob Saget died. Like Black Twitter or Black TikTokers were saying like how they're talking about how Bob Saget was assaulted and raped the Olsen twins.
Yeah, yeah.
And their proof was Gilbert Godfrey had a roast
That
on,
joke. Yeah.
Bob Saget raped the Olsen twins, and they're like, "Yo, Gilbert Godfrey said that he raped the Olsen twins."
you know Godfrey had opened for Primiano. I mean, Primiano opened for God.
Yeah. So did Donegan, I think, right?
I was on that show with Gilbert. I hosted
Really?
that
Oh,
one.
nice.
Primiano was on
Primiano
one.
too. All you fuckers.
Buddy Harris was on one. Yeah, we got to do. It was a dome show. Yeah, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, that was probably 6 months before Gilbert died. But he was like, oh god, he could barely walk. He couldn't get up the steps. Like it was brutal.
What killed him?
He had some weird muscular dystrophy.
Oh yeah, that's probably
type
what
of-
he looked like.
Yeah, that's why he was
Yeah.
just some hunchback Jew. Yeah,
At one of those roasts, McFarlane said, "It's nice of Gilbert Godfrey to stop staring directly into the sun for a few hours to come be here with us."
Dude.
I think at the Trump one he said that.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just dying.
dude. The roasts is when I really got into stand up. Growing up, me and my buddy would watch them when they came on on Sunday nights back in the day. Me and my buddy were so into them that he was the best man at my wedding, and he mentioned that Gilbert Gottfried rape joke in the best man speech, and he tried tying it into like our whole thing. and he's like, oh, we always love, like we started really getting into stand up with the roasts and everything, and he's like, and Dan asked me to be his best man, and little did he know I raped and killed a girl in 1990, and people were like, wait, like the people were doing the math, and he was killing the best man speech, like he was crushing, getting laughs left and right, 175 people there, and then he mentions that, and it goes dead quiet because people are like doing the math. They're like, you guys were born in 92, you raped and killed a girl in 90. They were like, what the fuck? Like no one knew the reference at all. Yeah. 2 people did, and they just let out a like they just there was just dead silence other than that. But I mean, a rape joke in a best man speech.
How
was
can
incredible.
you say I raped and killed a girl? Or, I wouldn't even do that.
No, you wouldn't.
He's like I'm not really a public speaker, but the best part was that
I'm more of a private raper.
the best part about that was that his wife proofread his speech before our wedding, and she told him to cut out jokes that she thought were inappropriate, and they were the Irish drunk alcoholic jokes. She's like, I think that crosses a line. But the rape joke, she's like, leave it in.
Well, she's a feminist, is what she is. You know. Oh my God, that's so funny. That's so. What if like someone at the wedding. Like, what if, I don't mean to say this about your in-laws, but what if they had, like, a girl that was murdered in 1990?
They just start doing and then some white woman becomes a, internet sleuth, and she does the digging.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that. You see, there's so many documentaries now where you think they're going to go into, like, the true crime ones, and it's just, like, some lonely, like, widow in her, like, house just doing all this internet sleuthing, and she's like, I found out all the details, and those things are so fucking annoying.
Yeah, I used to listen. It's not terribly set up, but that Crime Junkies podcast, I used to have a girl make me listen to that all the time.
Really?
Did you ever hear
shit.
that?
No, I've heard of it, but I've never listened to it.
It's one of the more popular.
I've heard of Serial.
The format is literally just 2 whores sitting around going, and wait, here's the best part. It's scripted. They read it, but they script in women saying, stop it. No. Wait, here's the best part. Like, they script that in. And it's like, women just eat this up. And it's like, you people... No wonder you're fucking broken from your fathers, because you are some of the most easily manipulated pieces of S I've ever seen in my life.
Pieces of S.
Yeah, I'm gonna urinate. I'll be right. Keep going. I always urinate during the show.
Yeah.
All right.
How strong's your bladder, Luke?
Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I leaked out before the episode.
Yeah, you did.
Like
You
a
let
true
it rip.
pro. Like a true pro. You opened for Louis back in what,
Brendan did the Louis shows. I was there for some of them, but I didn't go on stage for those. Brendan did those. I did, like, Gilbert, I was on that one. I did the Tim Dillon ones, though.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
hosted for Louis at Soul
I didn't.
Joe's.
No, Brendan did.
I thought you did.
No, I didn't. I was there for some of them, but not all of them, because a lot of the times when Joel had shows at the club at that point, he still had his off-site ones, and I would take the equipment and go and run those, or I'd do Aunt Mary Pat
But
ones.
I remembered you the one time. It was him and like Adrienne Lafouche. I don't even know. The last
Adrian Appalucci.
She was
I,
there.
I did the show with Adrian one time.
Yeah, but I remember you opening for doing like 5 minutes at the top.
No, I didn't do
swear
one
to
of the
God,
Louis
you did.
ones.
You did.
I would have remembered if I did one of the Louis ones. I was there when it was pouring rain and Louis was there, and he was like walking around in like a Boston Red Sox hat, like
That was
in the
Jeremy
crowd.
Hofstra.
No one knew he was there.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty cool to see that. I got to talk to him. He was like cool. Everybody that came through there really was.
I drove Ryan Ridds home one time, and he said that he said
Did you
that
stop at a yard sale on the way home?
he said that he was like, all right, yeah, I saw Louis one time, and he went to Soul Joe's mic one time. No one knew him who he was.
Yeah.
But then he said he liked one of my jokes, and I was like, there goes all my respect for Louis C.K., my favorite comic.
He was just at the mic?
Louis was not at the mic.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way he was. He
was
would
there.
never go to a mic that people
Dude,
would just come
That's
up and...
I know, but I was like, there's no. Again, I was like,
So
there's no-
Rin's just fabricated an entire... Like, he just
No.
Oh, the guy that has a whole career that isn't put on his taxes.
Yeah, I was
lied?
just. He got mad at me once when I said to him, "Hey, I was throwing out a beer." I said to him, "Hey, you want to resell this?"
Hey, it's 5 cents in California. Give me that fucking
I
thing.
saw one video of his. He's like, the guy's like, he goes, "Hey, what do you want for these 2 pairs of shoes?" And the guy's like, $5. He goes, "Can you do 3?" He's like, $5. It's like, what about 4? $5. You can't do 4? All right. All right, here's 4. All right, guys, I got a $1 bargain off this. Like, you just pay the $5 for those pairs of shoes. Who cares,
Dude, I'm doing the townwide yard sale in my town this year, May. I'm
I'm
doing
gonna
it just because I hope that some people like that show up.
I'll come. When is it?
Dude, May 3rd, Saturday morning.
I haven't been to a yard sale in a while.
Yeah, dude.
I used to love. You ever hear about Zerns or Q-Mart, the
No.
They're your brothers.
farmers markets?
Oh, the
They're not-
Amish guys?
the Amish ones,
Yeah,
yeah.
They're
Oh,
over in Jersey, yeah.
Love those, man.
They have the best fucking food there, yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
Puerto Rican restaurant in Q-Mart. It's phenomenal. Quakertown at Martin.
You hang out with Puerto Ricans, too?
Not only to eat, not to stay. Yeah, only to eat. I had my mom. She had a townhouse attached to Puerto Ricans. The worst neighbors you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
Because they're as loud as Mexicans.
Yeah.
They're as
I
loud.
can imagine the amount of Pitbull music coming out of that.
They're as loud as Mexicans. But they can't. They have no fear because they can't get arrested and deported because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
They're
going to send
legal.
us back to a Caribbean island? Yeah,
You
please.
think
I can't afford the airfare. Send me.
I go to Puerto Rican restaurants and I see the staff and lose my appetite.
What is a Puerto Rican restaurant?
They had plantains.
Soup kitchen?
They had. They were playing.
Plantains.
They had a PA system playing like the radio music, but they had each cook had their own individual speaker that played louder than the PA music.
Oh,
So
that's
you-
awesome.
You're dumb. You hear that shit? It's horrible.
Damn.
But they had fried mashed potatoes. Phenomenal.
Oh, that sounds good.
Plantains,
Yo.
chicken, phenomenal.
Otis Timlin has entered the chat. I was sitting by WrestleMania 30. Are you a wrestling guy at all?
No.
I went to the one WrestleMania right after COVID that was in Florida. They had it and it was like sectioned off seating.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to kill anybody outdoors. It's only a bunch of guys in their 20s. But Bad Bunny was at it. And there were tons of like Puerto Rican people. So everybody was sitting with 3 seats in between everyone.
Yeah.
Because it was COVID. It was early 2021. And I'm sitting there with my girlfriend at the time. And somehow there were like 20 Puerto Rican people sitting behind us right next to it. Like
I was going to say, how do you have Puerto Ricans in a concert like that aren't sitting on top of each other?
Yeah, they were. Even then, the staff didn't say it. But anyway, Bad Bunny comes out at this WrestleMania, and they start screaming, "Oh, that Bunny! That Bunny!" It was a very minor part on the show in terms of wrestling, but they were just so happy to see De Bunny.
De Bunny.
It was like it was Easter.
Plantains, though. More of a plantation kind of
Oh,
guy. But
plantains!
They had my mom's Puerto Rican neighbors. They were a big Jeep family.
of course, Puerto Ricans love Jeeps.
Jeep
They're
Wranglers.
They got the Jeep
They had-
light
Hey,
thing
look,
on the back.
ducks on it.
They had custom Jeeps. The wife, she had a custom like pink and baby blue that said the name on the side was Bitchy, which and the hood said Bitchy, and the guy was like steel gray and black and carbon fiber, and on the hood in red scratch letters said The Intimidator. The Intimidator was 5'2", like
He was just a big Dale Earnhardt fan.
Hey, look at me! I'm the Intimidator, mijo.
Raise
damn.
praise damn.
Puerto Ricans are into Jeeps now. They really upgraded from
These-
Saturns with the eyelashes on the headlights.
That's how you know somebody's sassy.
Yeah, the eyelashes on this headlight.
You know
There's,
that my sister, she run a business. You gotta follow it on Facebook. She got a nail salon and she also bake it.
Eyebrows on Fleek LLC.
Yeah.
We're gonna have that on Facebook LLC.
I do think one of the worst things that happened to the African American community was when Chevy stopped producing the Malibu. Like that
Oh, they
was-
stopped that?
Yeah, they
Or
stopped.
the Caprice. The Caprice was big.
Well, they moved to Nissan. There's a new Nissan out called the Nissan Araya.
The Araya?
The Araya.
Oh.
So now, what's next? The Nissan Jamal. That's
Araya in 2034, there'll be 5th grades full of Nissan Arayas named after the car they were conceived in.
yes.
Dude, I love. You guys ever go on to like any of the? I think Reddit has a subreddit for Nissan drivers. You ever see that? Holy shit!
I'm
That's
on
like
the-
the new N-word, Nissan driver.
Dude, I'm on the Facebook, the Norristown Facebook group, and somebody took a screenshot of a Nissan Altima with the license plate. They go, "This fucking asshole almost ran me over and sped off and almost hit somebody else. Let's find this guy." And somebody commented, "It's always a Nissan driver." What do you think that's code for?
Big Ultimate energy. Yeah.
I've been reading the comment sections about this Carmelo Anthony fella. I don't know if you've heard about
Oh,
him.
I sure have. Of course.
The stabber.
Did you see that story? Of course. As soon as I read the story, I was like, "Of course, his name is Carmelo Anthony."
I know.
Yeah.
The story said, or the first comment on this news story about it said, See, the goal in life is to live far enough away from these people where you still don't have to drive 4 hours to do anything
I
fun.
saw that.
You know where
yeah.
I saw? You know where
Really see that?
I see your my algorithms are fully synced up. But I mean, could you imagine?
You know where I saw that on my white brother's Instagram story.
What, he posted the comment?
On story. On his
That's
story.
awesome.
He had it. Could you imagine having the name Carmelo Anthony because you got impregnated during a Knicks game?
That's brutal.
Probably in the back of a
Watch
Puerto
out for
Rican
the
restaurant.
Knicks can do all sorts of things, but
Yeah.
no, he's the Knicks and the Nuggets. Those are his. Those are the,
Yeah,
the couple
I
of
It's
got-
names.
always the Knicks and the Nuggets.
I got to be
doing these
careful
crimes.
saying those team names.
Yeah.
It's a tongue twister.
Dude, it's tough because I take one of my nephews to, there's an amusement park in South Jersey. It's a construction themed theme park where you get to like drive construction vehicles and do like backhoeing and stuff. It's called Diggerland.
Oh.
I
Well,
was
we
like,
live in Diggerland, actually. Norristown, PA is a Diggerland.
There's
of
just
Montgomery County.
bulldozers and a few other things.
A lot
around
of
there.
backhoes. A lot of backhoes.
It's a bulldozer
Yeah.
that has a Nissan emblem on the back of it.
I guess my whole life's been an amusement park. I feel like I've never escaped it.
I'm in prison in
Yeah.
Diggerland.
My-
I almost slipped up saying
whole-
it.
my-
Yeah, so you
My
gotta
whole
be-
life is a Harold and Kumar thing to get out of Diggerland. That's all I want. Please, and now they're fucking another white woman. No.
Nothing.
They definitely made that name on purpose. They're like,
Genius marketing
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
got Diggerland all over. It really grabbed my attention. But the thing that
and they
annoys
see a Johnson family, couple diggers in Diggerland.
Hey, this isn't your father's Diggerland, okay? They're-
just a bunch of white people doing the Mexican
Oh,
work.
dude, we
It's a fucking-
saw that. You think I'm fucking racist? We remember that the fucking guy we saw at 13?
You're not racist.
I know, but play along. It's the this guy had a General Lee. It's a black
Oh
dude
my God.
with a General Lee car,
yeah.
There was a
Orange.
Dukes of Hazzard replica car.
Holy
orange with a
Confederate flag on the roof?
flag, a bunch of Trump. His name is
Blackie the comedian.
no, it's not Blackie. his name on Instagram, Uncle Tom Sellout.
Uncle Tom.
Like he's the man. He met Bubba Rogers one time, and he said, I think his shirt said like fuck,
Wallace?
fuck Bubba Wallace.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck Bubba Wallace. And the guy was like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, fuck you. This black guy cursing out Bubba Wallace.
Here's how you
Bubba
can
Wallace, the guy from NASCAR
Yes,
fame, right?
Yes. And here's how
Tell,
you
you said
know.
Bubba Rogers. I was like, who the fuck's
Who's
that?
Bubba
There's
Rogers?
another
That
one. No,
is.
no, you said Bubba Rogers. There is no Bubba Rogers.
I don't know who that is.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know why I
Bu-
said it.
Bubba Wallace. Yeah, he here's how you could tell that people hate him. Michael Jordan got into NASCAR and owns his team, and they're friends. If not even Michael Jordan can make you cool, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
Michael Jordan got into NASCAR. He doesn't have
he-
enough to gamble on, so he had to go into NASCAR.
he goes to the races. He owns a team. He sits there in like a bucket hat under an umbrella watching it.
Holy
like he's the
shit.
slave owner.
This
now.
is how you know that this guy's black, because he has a General Lee car replica orange with the Confederate. It's a Ford Focus.
That's incredible. Dude,
Just a good old boy.
speaking of the blacks, at Joel's one of the comedians that came through. You guys know Earthquake?
Oh yeah, I know Earthquake. Yeah,
Earthquake. He
What woman is that?
he's actually he's a famous comedian.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I believe it then.
he was on Chappelle got him one of his Netflix deals and
Christ.
everything. He showed up, refused to go on stage because he didn't know it was outdoors. Classic Joel too, where he didn't tell anybody. He showed up. He's like, I thought I was performing at a comedy club, not outdoors on a tractor trailer. So he almost refused to go on. His opener talked him into it. He had a bodyguard with him that had a handgun in his back waistband the entire fuck. But he was from Maryland, and he's like, oh no, the handgun stuff transfers over to Pennsylvania. I was like, I don't think it does. And you're walking around with like an open carry basically at a comedy club.
That does not carry over to PA at all. I know for a fact it doesn't
does
at
not.
all.
Jesus Christ.
Pretty, and he specifically wanted a bottle of Remy Martin that was like a very specific kind that was going out of like it wasn't anywhere, like you couldn't find it anywhere, and he
Black
specifically
people
wanted it.
get a little taste of success, and they become the most uppity people I've ever seen. It's no. I was at a work. My brother's
They get something rich. They get Nissan rich.
Araya Rich. They get like, I was at like a work function for my brother's work, and we're all wearing like suits and stuff. It's a really class thing at his job. And I'm sitting next to. He's a custodian, so he has black coworkers.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting with the black coworkers, and they're giving out all this food, and they give us filet mignon, and the guy goes, "Oh man, what's this?" I go, "It's filet mignon." He goes, "I can't eat this, man. Yeah, we can't eat this, man. It's red meat." I'm like, You can't eat filet mignon, like the peak of food.
Yeah,
You can't eat that. I had 4 servings of filet mignon that night. I was like about to
Why
vomit.
couldn't he eat it? Was it a religious
It was
thing
red
or
meat. He
something?
said his doctor can't let him have it.
Oh, Jesus. He follows that rule, but none of the laws. Huh? All right.
I'm sure if I went and studied his Acme purchase, like there'd be some health red flags. There'd be some sodium risks.
Chicken biscuits. He definitely got those. That's
He
a
ain't
black
saying
snake.
nothing about that, bro.
Chicken biscuits are good though. You ever have chicken biscuits?
Chicken biscuits.
What are they? The little
Got chicken
Not
and
chicken
waffles.
biscuits. No, it's the crackers.
Yeah, I've had those. The chicken and a biscuit, the blue
Chicken and
ones.
a biscuit. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I had those.
Yeah, we used to eat those on the slave ships. We'd come over and I'd only the mixed guys got them. So Luke did get them, but they had to give them out like with gritted teeth.
I got 3 fish of the chicken and biscuit. Those are just salt licks in a fucking bag. Those are so salty.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I haven't had them in a long time. I'll have to get on them. We just love bitching about. How are we on time?
We're at an hour.
Oh,
An hour really already?
Flew by.
Holy shit! It really flies by
Yeah.
when you're throwing around racial slurs.
I know. Yeah, that's usually.
Well, the cuts would probably be like
oh yeah, with the
3
cuts.
minutes.
Yeah.
Are you good to go?
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I'm having a good time.
Yes,
I'll
I'm
go
here.
longer.
Yeah.
We'll keep on going.
I just know because you have the only people I always get on my friends. I'm like, where the fuck are you going? What do you have to do? But the people with families, I always think. But I realize if you got out for the night, then you probably are out for the night. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I got a mortgage and a bitch wife, so yeah, we're just.
Do you have kids?
No.
I've been alluding to you having kids the whole time. You don't have
No,
any
I'm a
kids.
dad culture enthusiast. I wear the New Balances. I wear the dad hats. But
no, that's good. That's
yeah,
good.
yell at
If I
little
ever got a girl
shit
pregnant,
kids.
I'd kill us both. I'd shoot her. I'd shoot her down.
Did you see Rory won the Masters?
I like
Yeah.
Rory. Are you a
Yeah.
golf guy?
Yeah, I watched it. That was a real
golf hat he's got
exciting
on.
golf.
Is that a
Yeah,
golf hat?
dude,
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
this at Walmart, $8.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, dude.
Walmart has some shit. I have a fleece in there. I got zip up. I got.
Yeah,
Walmart
the
does.
Walmart's
$8
Don't
it was.
sleep on Walmart these days. But yeah, did you watch the end of the
As my
tournament?
grandfather was dying on his deathbed, I saw Rory win the Masters.
He did deserve it. He's been a good. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
him being outspoken against the Saudis, but even though he kind of walked it back.
It
you
was
see-
a choice between watching Rory win or watching my grandfather breathe like a fish out of water. So I chose to watch Rory
We
win.
were just telling him, hold on a second, he's on the 18th.
Yeah. Did you see the thing DeChambeau said Rory didn't talk to him the whole day?
Oh,
Fucking love
I
that,
bet, yeah.
Rory is so serious.
Yeah, I know.
I would be fucking with him.
He's
constantly.
way too serious. It's like you're just playing fucking golf.
I know.
I get it's the Masters. It's the the most uppity, if you will, type of tournament. But still, I mean, and he's just. I think he had the whole. He's never won it, and he
Yep.
needed.
Yeah.
To
Oh
win.
yeah,
Maybe he'll loosen
did
up.
need
But
it. He did need it, but it's great that he won it. But like,
He has relief for him that he won.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Masters, they still like make you lock up your phone and fucking everything.
oh yeah, they did that at Marion. I worked at the U.S. Open in 2013 when
Oh, that's
Justin
pretty
Rose
cool.
won. I was doing I just got out of college, and I met a guy in college that was working for the USGA, so I got to go on the
Oh,
Marion.
that's so cool.
I was like the only person in Marion with a phone because I was taking pictures. I found Arnold Palmer. I took a picture of him being there. It got on
Wow.
ESPN because he wasn't announced that he was going to be there, and I took a photo. It got on Sports Center. But walking around, everybody was asking me to take their pictures because no one had their cell phones. I didn't know that at the time though. I was like, why is everybody asking me to take it on my phone and send it to them? I had like a whole fucking list of numbers. I was just sending pictures of these. Have you ever been to a golf tournament?
No, I haven't.
Oh, if you ever get some, they're cheap to go to because you
Yeah.
see there's just hundreds of thousands of people. It is one of the most unique.
Is it one of them U.S. Open? Isn't one of them in PA this year?
One of them is who was just James Moss was telling me that there's one at the Philadelphia Cricket Club this year.
I'd go to that.
You should if it's like usually the tickets are like $20-$30. You can get in there. They just play
Mike
drinking games all
yeah.
day.
Oh yeah, I would.
That's
get,
awesome.
I'd
Yeah.
get loaded. I'd get high.
They have the stands on. You can go to any hole you want. You can walk the whole course. You get to be within reach of any player you want. So you can sit in the stands and guys just sit up there and they play drinking games all day. If they hit it onto the green, off the green, whatever it is, it's a really good time.
I would have loved to
recommend it.
go on when Tiger was still good.
I got
remember
to shake his hand at one
Oh,
tournament
that's
that
awesome.
I was at.
That's fucking awesome.
Tiger at that U.S. Open. Yeah. My dad hates Tiger. Yeah, could you imagine the boomer white dad doesn't like Tiger Woods and he's a big Jack Nicklaus fan?
Yeah.
Now he's fucking Trump Jr.'s ex. I was looking. I hadn't gotten high yet. I had edibles around. I don't know where I put them. Now I don't know.
He's fucking Don Jr.'s ex-wife, and her daughter is a fucking incredible golfer.
Oh, I believe it.
She's really fucking good. So now she's got Tiger Woods as her black stepdaddy teaching her how to play golf. I mean,
That's awesome.
I don't know how people are going to feel about it. It's like, wait,
Tiger's an honorary wipe.
He's like a cool Russell Wilson.
yeah.
Yeah. Tiger, the guy just loves. I have a friend who's the biggest Tiger. Mike C. He loves. We have a friend, Mike Steve, a gooner, a great man, a racist. He loves Tiger more than I love anything. He just adores Tiger.
Yeah.
And he just said to me the one day, he's like, man, the guy just can't stop taking pills and fucking whores. He just loves it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, all right.
My favorite that he was Lindsey Vonn. Is that her name?
Oh, yeah.
The skier.
She was hot.
He blew her fucking knees out. She like didn't have a career after she dated Tiger. All Tiger needs is some hair plugs. It's really
Yeah, the
fucking
hair
good.
is bad.
Didn't somebody like say like about Tiger Woods, like, oh, you know, he's gonna have some fried chicken or something like that?
Sergio
Me.
at the 2013 U.S. Open.
Yeah,
because I
I
was
was-
working it. That was the
Wow,
whole.
he said that you were there for that.
I was there during that controversy. It was the week prior. Sergio Garcia said something out of context about Tiger and fried chicken. It was getting blown out of proportion. So that was
He
the
actually
main
said that
talking
you
point.
shove chicken bones up your
Yeah,
asshole. That's what
yeah.
he said.
Sergio Smithsonian.
Yeah, Sergio. He was standing on stage in a Bumblebee costume, and he's like, "Do you shove chicken bones up your ass?"
This is such great shit. Jim Nance was there. Oh my goodness, what a great day for golf.
But you guys said on the program with John Keller, you mentioned I don't know why I just thought of this. You mentioned Jim Daly and the black woman at a CNA saw him and said something.
I don't
She was
remember.
like, "Who the fuck was that?" Like,
Oh, Jim Daly.
yeah, with the Santa beard. Like you said, the black woman said something about him somewhere.
Yeah, I was working at the COVID trailer to do COVID testing during 2021. And Jim Daly walks up with his giant white afro and his red face and his giant white beard, and he's like, ghetto nurses go, "Who is that nigga?"
He's incredible. He's
Oh, I love Jim. Jim's really
Jim's good
fun.
dude.
I haven't seen him in a little bit.
No,
either,
I haven't seen him
but-
in
It's been a
years.
while.
Yeah,
Him,
that's
Witt,
good.
and Kensel. I see Kensel. He's always with some woman.
Oh my God, Kensel just did a show with Jim and I down in Tom's River at the one distillery show he did, and we
you,
booked.
Daly, and fucking Kensel?
No, not Daly. Kensel. We booked Ed McGonigal, but he had to back out because of a work issue. But Kensel showed up.
What Jim?
No, Jim Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah,
we gotta get
Jim-
him in here too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Kelly.
Jim KKK.
And his fucking
yeah.
hot girlfriend.
So John Kensel shows
Will
up
you
with
listen to
that.
Jim, you have a hot girlfriend. Come to
Yeah.
the show. You have a hot girl. Bring her.
Dude, his girlfriend's fucking. I think she could beat-
fucking hot.
She
dude.
would. She would beat the shit out of me. I think she would
She's got a
choke me
body
out.
on her, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, she and a mouth.
Sometimes I just make them wrestle each other at his house. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So
Sometimes I watch him fuck. Fuck.
So
I watch him fuck.
Kensel showed up with his girlfriend. I don't know. She's like 25 years younger than him. Cynthia something.
Yep.
She showed up and you guys would like this. You guys probably heard it. So we book Campbell did that show. We have Charlie on another one.
Nice.
But I go up and host, and then Campbell goes up after me. He's supposed to do 15 minutes. 3 minutes in, I mean, he said that it was a rough set. It was a rough one. And we both, he's like, I love Campbell, and I know he's funny. That room did not fucking like him for whatever reason. He was supposed to do 15. He did his time like a fucking professional. But 3 minutes in, I'm like, oh my God. And we gave Cynthia, John Kensel's girlfriend, a guest spot after, because when somebody shows up to a show and you get introduced to, like, hey, this is
Yeah,
Cynthia,
it's
she
weird
came
not
with
to.
me. She's a comic as well. And we're like, oh, fuck, we have to offer a guest spot.
Mm-hmm.
So Campbell's bombing, and I'm like, oh, fuck, she's going up after him. I have no idea who the fuck she is. If we have 2 bombs in a row, this is going to be fucking rough. Yeah. And she went up, and she did pretty, like, decent for a 5-minute set.
Right.
It was totally fine. She seemed, all right, but they were, like, groping each other at the bar. The bartender came up to us afterwards. She's like, I thought they were father-daughter until they started grabbing each other.
Yep, I've seen him do that at High Note. I've seen him do that.
Really?
Did you ever go to the Speakeasy on Fridays?
No, I haven't. No.
Bickle but Joe runs it now. Like Bickle had started the
Joe
room.
who?
Joe G.
Joe G runs it?
Yeah,
Joe Gay?
Yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah.
He is gay.
Yeah.
We always
I'd fuck
do you
him.
know Joe G?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he but it's a pretty good room. It's a good hang. We usually just stay. We get bombed.
Yeah.
And we do well on stage, but we get tremendously drunk, or at least me, and as I do every day of my life.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good place. But yeah, oh, dude, that Luke and I finally have it like to the point where, like, when we go to each other's shows, people know the other one's not expecting a guest star. Like, I don't want one, because then there's always a thing if you go on a show and you're a guest spot just supporting a friend. Well, first of all, if you go to support your friend on a show and then get a guest spot, then you lose credit for supporting the friend.
Yeah,
Because it's like,
yeah.
I would have come to do this just for you. I like to go watch Luke because I get drunk and it's like I'm
Yeah.
Melania.
Yeah.
And, But if you go on, there have been a couple times, I don't think with you, but with other people where it's happened, where it's like they'll give me a guest spot and I'll do way better than the person who was booked on it. Then you feel like a cunt.
Yeah.
Because it's like, should I have just done shitty? But then
the one time
then you don't get booked again after.
Jay's late night laughs, Dunbar was on. I'm going to go see Dunbar, and I told Jay as soon as I saw him, I go, Jay, whatever you do not give me a guest spot. I do not want to get a guest spot. An hour later, Jay comes up to me. I got you up until you got 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, fine. So I didn't want to do it though.
Is Jay still bringing around the black guy sweat towel?
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Like Chris
He's
Rock
committed
or
to it. He's committed to it.
Yeah, dude.
But that
Throws it
guy
right over his
sweats,
shoulder.
man. He's hugged me sometimes, and I've been like, he's had
Drenched.
Yeah, he doesn't do it as much. Like, do you remember when his era where he would wear the T-shirt with the short sleeve dress shirt, like you know what I mean, the short sleeve like button up shirt. The dad,
yeah.
He would get me soaked through the second shirt, man. And now he mainly I've seen him just go one shirt. He's just embracing it.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's got down to one. Are they still doing stuff at that Spring City place, the brewery or whatever it was?
They have
there?
a mic there.
Eric Preston runs it now. Jay hasn't done that in a while. Eric Preston talks about beating his kids during the He'll be like, and my son brought home a girl so crazy looking that I beat his ass. I don't. That's the punch.
I don't think there's any kid in Spring City that hasn't gotten beaten.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
just
true.
a given in Spring City.
At that place, you want to get beat so you have some entertainment to fucking be a part of.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
I'd
were
love that.
some rough ones there, though. I remember doing some shows there. That
I
was
hosted a show there. It was brutal.
I've been on.
Well,
There's
It's always great when you do comedy. There's a pillar right in front of you blocking the entire audience.
But that, and then the other not problem, but like a lot of the times, because when Jay was running it, a lot of it would be like students of his there, teachers and faculty that were there, and I was like, I don't think they're here to hear someone's bit about getting raped by their uncle.
I know.
Like it's.
I know it's crazy. I'll tell you. Do you remember the one show I was on there? I think I was hosting one of them.
Yeah.
I did a bunch of them, but there was one I was hosting where Jay wanted to go up. He said, I'm going to go up and give the 5-minute announcement. Do you remember this? Mm-hmm. He said, I'm going to go up and give the 5-minute announcement. It turned into him doing 20 minutes and bringing me up with no warning.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
When I was pissing.
Yes.
He was 15 minutes in, and I said, he said, I'm giving the 5-minute announcement, then you'll go up and start the show. Then 15 minutes in, I say, I've got to piss before I go up. He's just going to bring me up. Soon as I get in the bathroom and lock the door, my fly's undone. All right, well, we've got a great night of comedy ahead, and I'm just banging on the fucking thing. I was so mad.
You hear him going into it. It's like he was the essential worker, as the Uber Eats driver or whatever.
Oh,
and then you're
my
like,
God, the kid. Yeah, but it's
and-
like I definitely have time. And then I
Yeah.
went, like he said, a 5-minute warning, and then you'll go up. He did 20 minutes and brought me up with no warning.
Right.
And it's always there when it's like there's fucking like Neil Woods there. It's like, well, you got to go up. And it's like, all right, Neil, you don't need to fucking tell me what I need to do, you motherfucker. I like Neil, but God damn it. Shit like that in comedy always happens in front of people where they like give you the look. It's like, well, go ahead. And it's like, all right, buddy.
well, go
Fuck
ahead.
you.
Go tell your jokes, Jester. Yeah.
Yeah. They act as if you like, miscommunication between the host and whoever's going on, like whoever's
It's
running.
rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like Neil's like Dan DePriel in the same way that it's like they
Not
look at
funny?
it as such they look at it as such an art form. They'll be like, well, if I didn't get they'll be like, well, I didn't get to get my intro, so everything was fucked. It's like they're so particular about what they do.
And I always like going back, like to I'll check in to see when the last time somebody was posted, just to see if they're active or
Yeah.
not.
Well, you always hope they die. Most comics,
Yeah.
not Dan, but most of them.
Well, a lot of them. And then I saw, did you guys see that the Hawk Tua girl is back at it?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
She's doing her
Yeah.
podcast from London. That was somebody that I'm like, oh, she's going to be off the grid. This 15 minutes is over. She had a good
No,
run.
she's gonna keep going.
Well,
Now
she
she's
made
back.
she made a lot of money from that pump and dump NFT
Crypto.
scan. Yeah, crypto.
Is that why she's in London?
I would think. Well, she got cleared. She's not getting charged in it. I really think it's like she sold it right after she got it, and then the
Right.
thing went to shit.
Yeah.
So I really think she was just so stupid. Like, she is stupid.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not a smart person.
No, it's
the
just
woman
some,
that talks about spitting on dicks is stupid. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
God,
yeah.
what I'd give to fucking rape. No.
She should have just done the morally right thing and just shown her pussy on OnlyFans. Why'd she have to get into crypto?
Exactly.
Yeah.
She still will. She still will.
Be a woman and show your pussy on.
We got to get
OnlyFans.
Hawk Tua on this show.
I would love that.
Just
I'd
reach
love
out.
that.
She'll do it. But why London? Like, that's why I was like, London. England would extradite her if she was actually brought up on
She's
some
actually
charges.
inside of London Duran, right?
That's
Hey guys, I'm in Cash Duran right now. Hey, we have Hawk Tua.
I said to London once, what if there's a British comic out there named Tijuana, and no, but he didn't get it.
It's like, what the
What a
fuck?
useless whore.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm urinating again.
Holy shit. So I have a mummer's bladder. I did the mummers parade for like 7 or 8 years in a row, and I just held my piss for so fucking long that now I can just do it like that.
How is that though? Is it fun?
Have you ever been to the mummers parade?
No, not once.
Oh, it is the best time you can ever fucking have in Philly because it is New Year's Day. Sometimes it's cold. Other times, it depends. Some years I did it was like 50 degrees. Other times it was like -7. Everybody is in the best mood other than, there's a lot of God hates fag protesters and some other ones and shit. But the people lining the streets that are there, they're all having a good time. The police are on horses. They'll crack your beer open for you. It's just an open drink fest. But a lot of people always would shit on it. I was like, it's a really good fucking time. It's just, you know. Now, every now and then people go a little nuts, but I always enjoyed it. Once I moved out of Philly, I stopped doing it though. But
my grandfather who just passed had a great line. He said, "What has 500,000 feathers and 50 assholes? The Polish American string band."
Yeah, see, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it was. The string bands would take it really seriously. Me and Jeff Colella actually were in this
I
same.
run for a wall for Jeff Colella.
Yeah, we're in
He's
this.
a man.
We were in the same brigade. Like they have different groups.
Yeah.
And like different divisions. You have the string bands, the fancies, all those types of people. Then you had the wenches, which were like I was in Froggy Car, the ones with those obnoxious frog things everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's the largest group in the parade, but all wenches do is you just dress and you show up and drink. There's
Okay.
no practice. There's no whatever. No one's taking it seriously. They always get disqualified because no one follows the rules. And it was always a really good time doing that. I actually got on the front page of the Philly Voice one year, the year after Hillary Clinton lost the election. You guys would love this story because I always brought out a 4x4, 4 feet by 4 feet poster board with like a picture that I would edit in Photoshop and then have printed at Staples. I would have this photo printed at Staples and I would glue it to this 4 foot by 4 foot poster board and I held it up with like broomsticks because they had TV cameras and you couldn't not get this on camera. Yeah. I always edited something, fucking funny, something stupid. The New Year's Eve day after Hillary Clinton lost the 2016 election, I took the Michael Jordan crying meme of him crying and I like photoshopped Hillary Clinton's face like inside of that and I put it on this thing. I was getting nothing but fucking high fives, everybody dying laughing.
A lot of bros.
Until you get to the judging area. And there was this guy, this like total like theater nerd, like just like uppity fucking asshole, and he had like 3 scarves around his neck and he just looked like he wanted to piss all over my own parade. So he told me, he's like, that's racist and you need to take it down. I was like, what's racist about it? He's like, you put some woman's face on a black man's body. I was like, that's a crying Jordan meme and that's Hillary Clinton. The context was that and I'm explaining to a guy in the middle of a parade. And he's like, no, it's not. I was like, you never heard the crying Jordan meme? He's like, what? I was like, I pulled up like examples of it. I was like, this is what it's based off of. He's like, you need to take it down or we're going to have you arrested. I was like, wait, what?
What the fuck?
So there was a cop that came up and he's like, if you don't comply with the parade, we will have you taken away with this police officer. So what I did was take a picture of me and I posted it on Instagram and I said, the Philly police and the parade officials said I would be arrested if I didn't take this sign down, and I kept the sign up and I just kept walking with it. The Philly Voice saw my Instagram thing and they put it in an article on the front page of it. They posted it on Facebook. Mummer says he'd be arrested. A whole free speech debate and everything.
Yeah.
The comment section of that Facebook post, these people were like, "Oh, that guy's just been doing drugs all day. This guy's just on that."
They
all
really
this
know
stuff.
you.
Yeah, they knew me really well. They were like, they were painting my whole life story for me.
Of course.
That's what shows like people like that think stuff are racist are the actual racists. To
Yeah.
think that's racist.
Oh,
is
yeah.
insane.
Because I wanted to ask, explain what's racist about it. He's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you took some poor junky black guy from North Philly and you put his foot." Like that's probably
a
what he
billionaire.
would've- Yeah,
A billionaire.
Yeah.
A guy who will know a level of privilege in this world that none of us could even hope to comprehend.
Yes.
What I said to him when I was walking away from it, I was like, how out of touch with reality are you where you don't know the most popular meme of 2015?
I know, that's
2016. And he had no idea what I was talking about. And I showed him the original thing. He's like, nope, never seen. I was like,
Are you a Game of Thrones guy?
No, I've never watched
Good.
it.
There's
I think it's gay.
there's the sequel series House of the Dragon. It takes place before the original
it's a
Game of
prequel.
Thrones. It's a prequel.
Yeah.
But like it's crazy because Game of Thrones was shot in like 2009 to 2010.
Yeah.
And now all the DEI stuff's being implemented in the prequel to that
yeah.
show. So there's more black people before
Yeah.
Game of Thrones than like it's nuts. And they have a whole cast of like black people, and they all work on the ships and the docks.
Yeah.
And it's like, who the fuck's idea was to put all the black people in the place where you have to swim? You know what I mean? It's like it's some stupid. Is that like, well, black people can't swim, so we'll make them swim. And like, it's so
Wishful
stupid.
We're
thinking.
combating stereotypes.
Yes,
We're having.
yes. It's like
I mean, I wouldn't have even had them on the show at all.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I find them unsightly. Did you ever see
I watched the Viking show that was on Netflix, and they had one of the Norwegian king or monarchy type. It was a black woman. And I'm like, I'm a fan of historical accuracy, and I thought this was going to be pretty tight to Viking specific.
Yeah.
There was no black woman that was overseeing a group of Norwegian Vikings.
No.
I was like, it throws me off. Denzel and the new Gladiator. I like the movie, but let's be
I got
honest.
so much shit for saying that because Denzel wasn't good in it. Like he's one of the best actors of all time.
Yeah.
But he's acting like American gangster during the Roman Empire.
I don't need to
it
hear
was
it.
horrible.
I don't need to hear an emperor with a Brooklyn accent.
Exactly.
Like, that's all, like, I
Exactly.
just-
He had no like Roman accent at all. He was like, "All right, yeah, my nigga." Okay. It's like
he'll talk the same way as if he's in John Q.
exactly. It's what he did. It's
Fucking
exactly what he did.
He just said he's like, my man.
Yeah, these fucking guys. Yeah, that's why I don't even watch. I watch maybe 4 or 5 movies a year. I never watch it. I went to the last movie I saw. I went a couple weeks ago. My brother wanted to go see the A Working Man, the Jason Statham movie that just came. It's about human trafficking, and I was shocked because in the movie the girl escapes the human traffickers, goes to the local police, and they drive her right back. Which the cops are often on the take for these fucking things.
Yeah.
But like the cop that turned her in to the pedophiles again was a black woman. And I thought, wow, they showed a black woman, but Stallone made the movie. And then I realized that.
Oh my
but they
God.
showed a black woman with short hair. She goes, "I'm so fucking sorry," because the girl escaped and she took her right back to the traffickers. And I was like, wow, they showed a black woman doing something that she knew was wrong, and she did it anyway.
Yeah.
Then she blew up in the movie, and it was supposed to be a good thing. I'm like, and I said to my brother leaving, I'm like, I'm so glad that fucking black woman blew up. And he goes, yeah.
So that's all you're missing from being married is watching a movie with your bitch wife and then seeing something like this. And I'm like, I already can smell the female empowerment coming out of the strong female lead. And I can already say she's going to be the hero of the movie. And then it turns out to be, I spoiled the fucking movie. It's
the
like
final 3 Star Wars movies, dude. That's pathetic.
Final 3 Star Wars, the entire everything Star Wars since the newest series.
That's what I meant.
That's everything.
Yeah.
79.
Obi-Wan, one of the I have a joke about this, but it's like there's there's a group of Jedi people that hunt down Jedi and turn them into the Empire, and it's a scary alien, another scary alien, and a black woman. It's like, what? You guys have aliens. Like, why do you have to be throw in DEI
I'd rather
shit?
see an alien.
Yeah.
No, I mean there won't be too many aliens left once Trump's done with them. But then
they're all over out here in Norristown.
I was gonna say if only Trump could do something about these language. But it's wild. It's we're kind of getting out of it now. I think though. I think we're beyond the point of like where a black person can do no wrong. A white, but like I think people are okay with how often George Floyd jokes come up in this algorithm now. Seriously, that wouldn't have been allowed on there 5 years ago.
That's all that my algorithm is. It's just George.
It's
Floyd
almost becoming
everywhere.
hack at this point. See some.
Hey now.
No.
He took one too many Fent potions. I couldn't. He needs
My
the
favorite
antidote.
one of George Floyd's when they have him in chainmail with a sword, and it says "Sir Floyd the Breathless."
Somebody, do you know the comic Anthony Chase? He's new. He's younger. We'll have to get him in here eventually. Somebody was on. Beetlejuice was on stage actually. Do you know Beetlejuice? There's a comic who's in the scene who goes to Mike's that they put him up at like 12:30 every night. But he's got like 40,000 fans on Instagram of making videos of Beetlejuice as a Jew, Beetlejuice, and they like throw pennies and he goes running after him in the outfit. It's hilarious.
Beetlejuice sounds like it could be a nickname for Cody Wright. He does he does the extermination stuff and he's Jewish. I mean, it's a perfect
Cody's
fit.
Jewish?
Yeah.
Well, there goes that comic.
Cross him off the guest to get
Someone
list.
referred to him as a golden retriever, and it's like, well, not if he's Jewish. But
He's a golden receiver.
Yeah. Do you remember when Steve Kane? I wasn't there for this, but the video of it. Steve Kane read his father's obituary at the roast battle.
No.
To Cody Wright.
Oh, I remember hearing about
Oh
that.
my God, they were roasting. He's like, Steve's like, yeah, and Cody's father's dead. You want to know how I know he's dead or something? He pulled out the obituary and started reading it.
That's incredible. Also, if anybody ever needs Cody Wright for some extermination services, it's Mugabug. His Mugabug truck is just a one bug beating the shit out of another with a baseball bat. It's on the side of his truck, and it
Does
has
he
a.
run an independent exterminator business?
I think it's his like mom or his dad's business, and now he basically helps run it, and he does all the. He comes around my house and sprays for shit all the time.
We got to get him here because out in the boiler room there are fucking roaches that come out. Luke and I have screamed at this property. How many?
Holy shit!
Luke has screamed at this because in the early days of this pod, in like late 2023, there was a homeless person that would come in and sleep in the stairwell.
Holy
Luke
shit!
Do you remember that you had to talk? I tell this story. It makes me sound like a badass, but it's true. Luke had to talk me out of boiling water and dumping it on him. I said, "What?" I'm walking out to my car with boiling water, and he scared me, and I dumped it. It fell. Like, could you imagine a homeless guy sleeping in my building, fucking suing me for assault? I could go out there and shoot the guy. What legal standing does he have? He's a fucking.
Yeah, you had to boil some water for that Puerto Rican restaurant across the street.
But I was ready to dump water on this guy. I went up to him the one night and I said, "You got to get the fuck out of here." And he's like, "Yo, can you give me a bag for my possessions?" Because he was sleeping on a bag.
And he came back later.
Damn.
Yeah, then we had him arrested. We called the police.
Really? They just came. What
did he say? He goes,
Well, listen, though, I'll tell you what. The police, no matter where you are, when it comes to arresting a black man, they're pretty gung ho about it. You know.
Yeah, but they show up. They see you guys and the homeless guy. They're in quite a pickle. What should we do?
I had him
homeless
take
guy?
Luke out once, actually.
Who's a homeless guy?
Yeah, the other.
If you had the police show up here, do you guys put on like suits and ties? Like, what do you guys do to like?
Dude, I try to avoid them. So you want to know something? I think I told you. This is the day you had to come pick me up. I found out my license got suspended. I didn't realize it happened because I got a ticket. Did you ever get a ticket for $0 where it's like a written warning and they don't put it in as a they put it in as a ticket.
Right.
So it accumulates interest that I didn't go in and put okay on this $0 ticket.
Oh Jesus!
This happened out of state. So I honked at a guy who was half parked in the road. It was a lazy guy sleeping in a fucking in a car. He was sleeping in a work
Nissan.
truck. he was half parked in the road, so I honked at him when I went by and flipped him off, and he followed me. He kept following me for blocks. I drove around the same block several times, and he followed me. So I ended up pulling past the police station. I just said, "All right, asshole," because I saw I was a Mexican. I just pulled right in. I said, "Come get me now," and he drove off. And then I said, the cop was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "All right, let me just scan your license. It says your license is expired." So fuck me. I should have just let this guy try to kill me and Luke had to pick me up. Why did I bring all that up? Why did I bring all that up?
I don't know, but on the way home, I drove him to his car.
Fuck that story.
We drove past. There was a drug addict guy laying in the middle of the street, and
I didn't even think of that.
this guy in front of us is like trying to slow down to see him, and we had our windows down. He opened his door. He goes, "You all right, buddy?" And it's like, no, he's not all right. He's in the middle of the fucking street. Just drive past him. No, but we thought that.
Oh, the guy in front of us said that. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, this guy, I had to pull in. The guy was following me, and I was just like, all right, I'm pulling into this. And why did I bring that up? Oh, yeah, it's a terrible neighborhood. That's why.
Your license got suspended.
Yeah, I know, but there was a reason. There was a reason I brought it up.
I was asking how you guys approach cops. If you wear suits and ties.
Oh, yeah, but I was saying, it was literally like, if some guy's willing to follow your car around, like I went through red lights. I went directly through a red light with my hazards on, and he followed me. So it's like, if a guy's willing to do that, like he'll kill you, which I don't care about my life. But I'm
how badass would it have been though? You pull into the police station parking lot and he just gets out and still just fucking kills you.
That would have been
at
awesome.
the cop station. It would have made you. You would have been right up there with Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I'm a real Nick.
Well, we're at an hour and a half. I don't know if you guys want to.
We got probably 40 minutes out of this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe 15.
Hell yeah. To go. We can sit in here if you want. But this is the end of the Ghouls. This is the end of the Ghouls.
Yeah,
but feel free
anything
to
to plug?
Anything
to
to
plug?
The South Jersey Bad Boys. If you want to hear any more bad boys, mostly the whites, talk about South Jersey trash, you just follow us on the Instagram.
All right, yeah. We'll put
Wonderful.
your Instagram in the bio.
Yeah.
Take care. Thank you for listening.
Ghoul
Have a good one.
Nation.
So, yeah.
Ghouls out.